Welcome to the nice sweet spot where the reviews are on target and tell it like it is, whether it hits the spot or misses the target. Now, don't forget to click that target mark subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. So, I wanted to do a special video. I've been going to Hersheypark all summer long, and I most recently went with my daughter, sister, and niece for their winter holiday season where it was really cold, but still nice. And I don't want to focus on Hersheypark, but I want to focus on a place that I've gone to, a restaurant that I've gone to 4 times now, the Chocolatier. And I'm gonna tell you what's nice about it, what's sweet, a little sour, and also what might leave a little tart taste for you. So, first things first, what's really sweet about the Chocolatier is that you don't have to go to Hersheypark in order to dine at the restaurant, which is really great. So maybe you live in the area, and if you're like, where's Hersheypark? That's in Pennsylvania. I live right outside of Philadelphia, so it's, we'll say close to a 2-hour, about an hour and 40-minute, hour and 45-minute commute for me to get there. But if you're making the trek, even if you're not in Pennsylvania, but you're like, I want to go to Hersheypark, but I want to make a weekend out of it or something like that, then maybe have one of those days where you go to the Chocolatier. Something else that is a nice perk, especially considering, like I said, we went for the winter season just recently, is when it's really cold. This is an indoor restaurant, so you don't have to worry about getting something outside and eating it and being cold. You're gonna be nice and toasty, which is terrific, right? Okay, on the menu, what I really love about the menu is, since it is Hershey, there are some items which are chocolate infused with Hershey chocolate, or there might be some chocolate sauce or something drizzled on, like salad or a sandwich or something like that. There also are some where you might have some Reese's influence, which is actually one of the meals that I got, not once but twice. It was this really delicious, it was like a pretzel roll bun, and it had like guacamole, like avocado on there, and grilled chicken. I try and do my healthy thing, you know, sometimes, right? Pickle on the side, and some fries. It was very delicious, and it had some Reese's sauce mixed in there. Now, of course, the problem is, what might leave you a little sour or potentially tart, is if you have peanut allergies, because then you can't have some of those items on the menu. But I'm quite sure you could tell them, don't put that on there, you know, because with some things I ask, you know, can I have the dressing on the side, for example, so that I can put how much I want. So I'm sure you probably could do that for some of the things. There are items on the menu that don't necessarily have that Hershey's on there, but you'll see there's a little emblem next to the item to let you know, right? Which I think is really cool. Now, something that might leave you a little tart is if you just show up and you're like, oh, table for 2, or if you have a big family or you're going with a lot of people and you're like, table for 6, good luck getting a seat, right? Because reservations are highly recommended. Out of the 4 times that I've gone, we've had reservations each time, and I've seen some families get turned away where they just showed up and we're waiting for our table to be ready, and they were told, sorry, we don't have anything available. And they said, well, can I reserve for later? And they said, sorry, we don't have any reservations left for the day. And this was when we went in the afternoon during the summer. So that, you know, can leave you feeling a little bit sour. So the reservations are done through OpenTable, if you're familiar with them. It's really easy to do the reservations, so you can always cancel them, so there's no holding fee. So I would say that's more of a tart thing, because there's no holding fee. You just have to know, hey, we think we're going to want to go to the Chocolatier. Let's do our reservation so that we have a place to sit and don't get there and be disappointed, right? All right, so couple other things that I would say may leave you a little bit tart is definitely the price. Some of these items, I mean, Now, mind you, it's not like where it's astronomical, but it's certainly more than some people may be willing to pay. All right, like for example, my sandwich with fries was like, what was it, like $17, $18 for that. A salad might run you about the same. And so knowing you may be able to go somewhere, get a salad, get a sandwich for maybe $10 instead, you might say, I don't think so. But I really feel like going there, it's a part of the experience, at least for me. I mean, hey, I wouldn't have went 4 times otherwise, because it is a really lovely atmosphere. And when you go in there, it's really nice. And I think that people should go there at least, once if you're going to be in the area or you plan on going to Hersheypark and you want to do something other than just dine and do the outdoor setting. All right. But something else I will say that I really love about the menu that I want to come back to is they do have some specialty drinks and things. When I say specialty drinks, I don't necessarily mean alcohol. I actually don't drink alcohol, but I mean even for the children, like they have little mocktail drinks and adults can get mocktail drinks. And my daughter has gotten them a couple of times, like one with cotton candy, one with little Jolly Ranchers in there. They changed the presentation. I think they're trying to figure out what's the best one. So they changed the presentation a couple of times, but she's loved all of their little drinks that they bring out, and she's really enjoyed that. And yeah, the kids menu is reasonable as well, but I would say the price is still kind of on the high end, right? So be prepared to I would say family of 4, definitely be prepared to, if you're going to have drinks other than water, and you might decide to have a dessert, but I will say it's so fulfilling that you may not even want a dessert, that you're going to easily pay probably $100 or something, maybe a little bit more depending what you order on the menu for a family of 4 or friends of 4, right? So just keep that in the back of your mind. Now, I will say that each time I've went, because I think sometimes when people go to a place once, they automatically draw a conclusion. Oh, I love this place, or I can't stand this place, right? And I don't think that's fair. And so that's one of the reasons I didn't do a review after going there the first time. So I figured 4 times, that's really reasonable. And I have to say that the service, while sometimes, you might get a server who's really on it and they're on point, and then you might get one who's a little bit slower. But I'll have to say that I've never had a server so far who has been discourteous, or they didn't seem like they wanted to be helpful, even if they, may have been a little bit slower than others. But most of them, out of the 4 times, I would say 3 out of 4, we've had really decent servers. This last time, it wasn't that he wasn't a decent server. I think it was just really jam-packed because it's cold outside, and so there are so many people there. And what I also observed is they have runners. So you might have a server who takes your order, and then there's someone else who's bringing your food to you. So you got to keep that in the back of your mind if you're someone who's like, well, I'm not going to get them a good tip because I haven't seen them, right? So that's something to keep in mind as well. But I definitely think it's a wonderful opportunity. Oh, I didn't say the food itself. I think I did, but just in case, I really enjoyed the food. Like I said, I got the same meal twice. I had the salad, and the one salad that I got, it had little, so if you're allergic to almonds and stuff, but it had almonds on there, and it had a little drizzled sauce that had like a chocolate infused in there with like a, like this raspberry in there, and it was really delicious. And each time I've dined there so far, I've basically ate everything off of my plate and left nothing remaining, right? Something else that's really cool is if you don't want regular French fries, you got sweet potato fries as an option too. Something I will say that could potentially leave you tart or sour, definitely for me, because while I will say I can be a calorie counter, especially when I'm trying to be mindful of what I'm consuming towards my fitness goals. But at the same time, if I'm trying to figure out, well, how much protein is in this, how many carbs are in that, right? I can't find the nutritional facts anywhere on anything. I will say, I have not asked the server directly, do you have, the nutritional in this, right? It's not on the menu. It's not on the website. So I don't know how many calories was in that one sandwich I ate, but I'm taking it that it was a lot because it was a really thick pretzel roll, which was delicious, but I'm sure I easily put away you know, maybe my calories for the day on that one meal, but still delicious nonetheless. So if you are in the area near Hersheypark, or you're making a weekend out of it or something like that, you plan on going in the winter. They're open through, I think, January 1st is the cutoff, and then of course they reopen for the spring and summer season through autumn. Now mind you, that's Hersheypark itself, but if you're nearby and you just want to go to the restaurant, now the restaurant remains open. Like I said, that's a separate thing. You don't have to pay a fee or anything to get into the restaurant. You can just do your reservation, show up, and you might even want to go to the Chocolate World, which is right across, you know, it's walking distance from the restaurant. So I hope my review was helpful, especially if you're considering going there and you were checking out the menu and you're like, I'm not sure, I don't know. So a couple other things that people got, I don't have any video or pictures of these, but tacos, wings. My sister got wings and she really enjoyed the wings. I believe my cousin, she got a rib. Yeah, and so a lot of the items on the menu, I didn't hear anyone complaining about anything. So sometimes you got to pay the price, and for the experience, especially if you're bringing, you know, children and you want them to have that full experience of Hershey with a really nice restaurant too. So if you have any other ideas for me, something you want me to review, let me know in the comments and I'll try to get up on that. Until then, have a wonderful day and I'll see you next time at the nice sweet spot. Take care.